We have a couple of NHL trades to discuss, including Vitali. Kravtsov's been moved by the New York Rangers, and Nino Neidereiter's also been traded by the Nashville Predators. We'll discuss these deals coming up next. So welcome back to another video here, Top Shelf Hockey. I know I'm a little bit late to the party here, but I've been on the road all day. We do have some NHL trades to discuss. There's actually three. One's a little bit more minor than the other two. The first one between the Boston Bruins and the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche have traded young prospect Shane Bowers, who's been in the system for a few years now. He was actually originally a pick of the Ottawa Senators. They actually got him in the Matt Duchene trade all those years back. That's how long he's been around in the prospect world. Been traded to the Bruins for backup veteran goaltender Keith Kincaid. Has mostly been playing in the American Hockey League, but certainly some goaltending depth ahead of the playoffs should they run into any injuries or anything of that nature. So certainly a nice pickup there by Joe Sakic. I know Bruins fans seem happy to get another young body into their organization as well. Really, if you think about the age difference, it's probably a pretty good get for Sweeney, and it could also be a good pickup for Sakic, McFarland, and the Avalanche for some depth goaltending. Now, the other trade we saw today, the Rangers have begun the clearing out of cap space so they can acquire Patrick Kane. As we talked about in the last couple of days, this trade is pretty much a guarantee to happen. And I said yesterday that we're going to see some activity today, which is going to likely include Jake Leschyshyn going on waivers, which has happened, and Vitali Kravtsov possibly being moved or being on waivers himself, and that's happened as well. So Kravtsov's got traded to the Canucks in exchange for Will Lockwood and his 7th-round pick a couple of years down the road in 2026. So Kravtsov seems quite pleased. He's got some Russian friends on the team, including Kuzmenko and Podkolzin. Russian players tend to do better when they have at least a couple of, or one at least a fellow countryman around them. I know that he obviously had that in New York at two, but for him to go to the Canucks organization, our team that's, I don't know what you want to call that. I'm not sure it's really fully a rebuild, retool. Hard to say because they've been rebuilding for so long, never got too far, and here we kind of go down this road again. But there's more opportunity for sure. The Rangers had a very deep lineup. It was tough for him to find consistency. You could tell Gerard Gallant wasn't the biggest fan, and we'll go from there, see how he makes out in Vancouver under Rick Tocchet. Clearly, Will Lockwood, a prospect that I think Vancouver did value, so interesting to see how he makes out in the Rangers organization. And the other trade we've seen today is the Winnipeg Jets have acquired Nino Neidereiter from the Nashville Predators in exchange for a 2nd-round pick in next year's NHL draft, so 2024 2nd-rounder. So clearly that's a pretty good pickup for Winnipeg. We know that they're going to be definitely wanting some more depth scoring up front. Niederreiter certainly could provide that. He's got 18 goals in the season, 28 points total in 56 games. They just lost Cole Perfetti, likely for the rest of the regular season, so he should be able to slot into a similar spot and help that top six continue to thrive with Perfetti being out. So some trade activity. Like I said, Patrick Kane going to the Rangers is pretty much a given. I don't know exactly when it's going to take place now. There's been some concern about an injured defenseman, Ryan Lindgren, as well. So they're going to evaluate him. I'm not sure how quickly this Kane trade is going to take place. I suspect it's going to be fairly quick. Some thought it might not happen to the actual deadline because the Rangers would need to accrue enough cap space, but they might have this figured out. We'll have to see what other moves they make because it could complicate things further. But Patrick Kane is not playing in tonight's game for the Blackhawks. They're officially now sitting him out to protect the assets. So that tells us that he must have agreed to waive his no-trade clause for the Rangers, which is not a surprise in the least. So let me know your thoughts on all of these moves. We'll be back later with a regular news video like we usually post every day, talking about all the latest news and rumors around the entire league. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.